Hey there, MS Warriors. Welcome to Kicking MS Ass. Today we're going to talk a little bit about peptides. I'll have Jen introduce herself.
I am Jennifer Mottarella. I have been a nurse for 22 years now, specializing in neurology. I opened up my own company, Elite Infusion, which specializes in peptides, IV infusion, and any type of health and wellness journey that anybody is on. I do house visits and things like that. So I started working with AJ a few months back.
I've been on it for 2 months. I just took a month break, and I felt very good on those 2 months. I was injured before that. It helped me, I feel like, with the injury progression a lot faster. Obviously, I train a lot in jiu-jitsu and the gym, so I wanted to get back in the gym and on the mats as quickly as possible, and I felt like it really helped. So, Jen, can you just tell us? I had no clue what a peptide was, so if you can just tell us.
Sure.
What
I feel like a lot of people they hear peptide and they automatically think something else or not accurate descriptions of what it is. Peptides are small chain amino acids which help build up proteins in your body and use them correctly. And the different ones that are out there are each targeted to stimulate some type of function in your body. So they attach to receptor sites and signal those cells to do something specific, whether it's target inflammation or cell regeneration, things like that. They each have different jobs that they do.
And I know when you go online, obviously you can do your own research, but it always seems like all these websites come up that are talking about different pricing, and some of them seem real cheap. How do you know that you're getting a good peptide? What should you look for? Obviously, a lot of them I see come from China, especially the cheaper ones.
Florida too. Come from Miami is a big one.
So I know with you, obviously it's coming from a U.S. pharmacy.
So with my company, I have a medical director and I have pharmaceutical accounts. So mine needs a prescription. It has to be sent directly to the pharmacy. The pharmacist checks everything that I order before it gets sent to me, before it is given to any of my patients. Those are things that make sure that dosing is correct, make sure that's stored correctly. It gives instructions on what to look for in terms of side effects like injection site irritations and things like that, allergic reactions, which is very rare. But none of that is monitored if it's not coming from a pharmacy. So all of those things can potentially be, I wouldn't say dangerous, it's more of just how effective it is or whether or not it's doing what it's supposed to be doing or not.
So most of the people that are on the channel are all over the country, so obviously they're not all going to be able to order from you.
Right.
But is there something that they should definitely look for? Is there a way that if they want to find a peptide, the best way for them to do that?
You want to try to get it from a 503B pharmaceutical company. So major ones that are out there are Empower Pharmacy, Grand Avenue Pharmacy. Those you need prescriptions for. It's the safest way to go. Any physician or nurse practitioner can send it in for you. That's how I'm able to send things to a pharmacy. They're able to send that prescription in as long as they have an MPI number and can send things to a pharmacy. That's the safest and best way to do it. It's also the most efficient. You have to keep track of the way that you're doing it and whether or not you're doing it properly.
And then to drill down to my MS people that are watching this, because I know it helped me a lot. I feel like with inflammation and everything.
Inflammation is huge.
I had no idea what any of this stuff would do, so I had to talk to you about it, and you set me on the right path. What advantages does doing peptides and looking into peptides do for somebody with MS?
I think it depends on, so for anyone that doesn't know, the biggest issue with MS is inflammation. It's an autoimmune disorder, it's degenerative, and its biggest thing is it targets the myelin sheath, which protects your nerves. If the myelin sheath continues to be inflamed, obviously, then the nerve becomes degenerative, and then it is very hard to get it back, almost impossible once you get to a certain point. So the whole idea is keeping the inflammation down so that the nerve is able to function properly. I make it sound like it's suffocating the nerve, and then it's not able to do what it needs to do, and at some point is not able to be repaired. The whole idea is to, rather than taking an NSAID like Advil or over-the-counter anti-inflammatory, the peptides keep inflammation down using the amino acids, but it's not something that's neurotoxic and filtered through your liver and can become like these horrible things like that people long-term use. So the ones that you and I kind of focused on was really just to keep your inflammation down. And in fatigue, the biggest thing too is that if your body is constantly in a state of inflammation, you're exhausted.
So I know we talked about fatigue now, which is obviously a huge hitter for me. It helped me a lot with that. Also, gut health. I know a lot of people with MS have a lot of issues with gut.
Yeah.
I do myself, and I
it's
feel
because
like
that's
those 2 months.
That's your whole, it's your intestines, it's your whole entire gut. That's exactly what it targets too, all of it. So
I feel like it helped me a lot with that. And then when I came off of it, it reverted back.
You're like, oh God, what is this?
So is there anything that you could think of, or a peptide that helps, or they all help with that?
Well, no, BPC 157 is a huge one for gut health. Definitely helps that type of tissue be repaired, healthy, and keep the inflammation down. Then you have the TB 500, which is also in the stack that we did. These are all things that keep that type of tissue under control and help with that type of inflammation. And that's why you feel it when you come off of it. And you're like, oh, okay, that's not supposed to feel like that. We did try to taper it down a little bit to see so you're not on something long term, which again is like a trial and error. But it's also, the peptides are not something that is super toxic to your body. If you're not using it, it's filtered out and it's gone. And it's pretty quick. So I feel like that's also something to keep in mind, as opposed to corticosteroids and things like that, which are toxic to your body, which from doing IV infusions, how you feel after. So
my big thing, I was on it for 2 months. I felt good. I felt like it repaired everything. Came off of it for probably a month and a half. In the beginning, it felt like the inflammation came back pretty fast. And then I guess I normalized the pain, which
I feel like this
is not something you're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like a lot of people with MS probably get used to it.
And you are told that this is just the progressive, you're going to have flare-ups and things like that, but you don't have to deal with that. And there's ways to manage it without, and again, there's a stigma with peptides, but I feel like knowing and experiencing what it's done for you and how you felt, you are able to see, wow, this is actually really useful, and other people should try it if they're able to do it appropriately and efficiently.
So I know on all the forums and group chats and everything that I see, people are asking about peptides all the time. I know we just covered it very general today. Make sure that you guys comment, ask all your questions. Me and Jen will do another video. There's a lot of stuff. This is the second video.
We had so much information.
Yeah, because I had to cut out because it was too long for YouTube. So ask the questions. We can make it more pointed towards that. Even if you don't have MS and you just want to know about peptides, comment, and we'll do another video very shortly. But thank you, Jen, for your time.
You're welcome.
Hopefully we do another one soon.
Thanks, guys.